need to realign ourselves with apostolic doctrine and truth. We must stay in proper alignment because so God can do what he needs to do in us. All of this stuff is coming to do nothing but to distract and separate. We got to keep our eyes on the main thing, and Jesus is the main thing. He is not a president. He is king. He's not in Congress. He's not a senator. Okay, it's all right, folks. I can walk home from here. I live in California, but I'm from Alabama. And so we're in Louisiana. I can kind of walk home. It might take me a couple of hours. I get there. But you got to understand, the church must be careful not to get caught up in what the world is caught up in. Because the world is not going to be caught up. The church is going to be caught up. We got to keep our feet firmly planted on the ground. You see, Moses had this burning bush experience. And if we don't have these things to go back to, we will lose our way in this ill-defined transitional moment. Moses could not ever forget that bush. When he could always refer back, and the bush wasn't the deal. The bush caught Moses' eye, but the voice caught his ear. I want you to hold on to that. I'll say it again. The bush caught his eye, but the voice caught his ear. God never says, look at what I do. He says, he never said he that hath an eye, let him see. No, he said, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the church. Because the devil wants to give you an eyeful, and God wants to give you an earful. I wish somebody help me preach. You can be tricked with your eyes, but your ears can hear. I wish somebody... When we are tricked, it's because we think we see something that we don't see. And the enemy works in those murky places. So we got to keep our ear tuned to the voice of the Lord. And when he heard the voice, he turned. Why? Because it's 140 degrees. Bushes catch on fire all the time. Nothing abnormal about a brambling bush burning, but when it starts talking, hey, wait a minute, I know I ain't on nothing, you know what I mean? Then he said, now, watch it, now let me turn aside. I'm not seeing something that I never saw, but I'm hearing something that I never heard. That's why we need to hear the preaching of the word of the Lord. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And Moses at this burning bush, I'm telling our young people, we'll talk to you a little bit more tonight, but you need a burning bush situation in your life. Something that defines you from somebody else. We need an encounter with God that shakes the very foundation of our soul. It is not enough to come and occupy a pew and never meet God personally and never have that one-on-one encounter and never get a revelation in your heart of who this God really is. Something that shakes you to the very core of your existence. Something that nobody can, you know what? You can argue my doctrine, but you cannot argue my encounter with God. You can tell me that this doctrine is not right, but honey, I've seen him for myself. I felt God for myself. I've heard him for myself. So any apostolics in here to know I've had an encounter. And listen, I'm not talking about Steven Spielberg, okay? I didn't have an encounter of the third kind. I had an encounter of the only kind. Oh, it was with E.T. Extraterrestrial. There's nothing more extraterrestrial than God himself. Okay, you guys are a little slow. Africa. Yeah, y'all down here drinking all that sweet tea. We are terrestrial beings. Anything beyond us is extraterrestrial. Angels are extraterrestrial. They are celestial beings. God is the ultimate being. There's no body like